Good morning. Good morning. I am John Halcyon Stin. This is the Hug Nation Love Morning live broadcast. You might be watching this recording, in which case, hello, wherever and whenever and whoever you are. But we're also live on YouTube and Facebook every day at 9 a.m. Every day asterisks, because sometimes I'm preoccupied or traveling or self-caring. But every day try to share some gratitude, feel a moment of connection with like-minded, open-hearted people like you and the people that will join and share. And also a chance to set our intentions for the day. Who do we want to be? Not what do we want to do, although you can think about that as well, but more, I want to be patient today. I want to be in integrity. I want to be courageous in my honesty. I want to be kind. I want to look for ways that I can share my gifts with the world. And then, as the day unfolds and the choices and opportunities and the emails come in and the opportunities to act or react, you already have your script. So instead of seeing something you don't like online and being like, you fucking it, you go, oh, I'm going to be a patient person. I'm going to be a kind person. So you either say, I have a different perspective of what you are experiencing, but I appreciate what you are saying, ... Or, even better, you go, and don't type a thing and move on and direct your energy not in reaction to something you don't like, but towards something you do. My friend Ishmael, after we spent the day together at our retreat, he gave me this really beautiful compliment, and I don't know, a compliment, just as he was genuinely noticing, and he kind of reflected, like, you really have dedicated and made gratitude a part of the way you live, and that your focus on what's going right instead of what's going wrong. And I really like that distinction, because it highlights something that we talk about here often, which is that, a gratitude practice is not about denying problems. It's about not exclusively giving your focus to what's wrong. What's going right? Even amongst a situation that is falling apart, you can still, what's going right? As I am assembling a list of ailments to bring up at my next doctor's appointment, that can be a process of making my entire, RAM memory filled with what's wrong. So it's important to go, wait, how many muscles, ligaments, organs are in this body that are working incredibly? So let's just take a moment and say, woo, look at all that's going right. Woo. You don't have to make that sound, but I really encourage you to do woo, or your version of woo. If you're here, say hello, leave a comment. Share what you are grateful for, maybe even where you are physically, so we can imagine these fellow love ambassadors around the world. Some people get a little, wait, I'm not a love ambassador. I have not been trained. You're fully qualified. Don't you worry. Good morning, Gerbot. Good morning. Happy Monday. Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Ian. Good morning, Savannah. Ian says, your beard is going right. Really digging it. Thank you. I'm enjoying this process of being Halcyon the White. I'll talk more about that in a second. I saw a lot of people I haven't seen in years at the memorial yesterday. Chris says, sending good vibes as we share gratitude and hold digital hands. I'm also on hold with the Motor Vehicle Safety Department. What a perfect opportunity to practice patience and gratitude. Good luck with your mission today with the DMV. Good morning, Savannah. Good morning, Natasha. Sending us good morning from the sunny Southwest. Grateful to see you today and a beautiful portrait of Janus. Oh, so yesterday was the celebration of life for Janus, and wow, it was just right. Just right. It was held at this property or a communal living space called Evo. It's about 40 minutes away from me. I think 20 people live there now, multiple homes and families, and beautiful wisteria garden and big trees and shade. And there was an outdoor tea house, but it was all shaded so we could have the ceremony in shade. I forgot about that. I was kind of nervous because the event was from 1 to 7. And I've been at weddings there, and just like where there's a big area that people do outdoor weddings, but it's just like you're baking in the sun, and I'm delicate. So, leading up to it, I was the master of ceremonies. So I was going to lead the portion of the day, the ceremony part, where we had speakers and songs. But before I got there was social time. There was a silent auction of his things to raise money for his 1-year-old son. We have a college fund going. And then after the ceremony, there was a food truck came and we had food. And then at like 5:30, there was a fire ritual and what they call it, prayer-formance. There was so many good parts about it. First, I'll talk about the performance. As a 26-year-old burner, when people say, hey, there's going to be a fire performance, I'm like, great. But I've seen a lot of fire performance, and it's awesome. I love that people enjoy doing it. But I'm if I'm in the middle of an awesome conversation, I'm probably not going to stop to go check out the fire. But it was so beautiful. They had this urn that was a piece of art that was created by this artist, and I have her name nearby. I think, please let me find her name quickly. Louise Bizarre. And she was a listener of Stay Sparked and donated this gorgeous black urn with this gold box, and it had a red circle, and his last name is Red Moon. It's just perfect. And so they came in first, like carrying around his urn and then another person had like fire fingers, and they really solemnly walked it around us and then placed the urn down. And then they had music that they had remixed with clips from Janus from the Remembering Red Moon website or YouTube channel that I made. So it's like, music for a dance performance, but you could hear Janus speaking these beautiful phrases. And then they actually kind of mixed it into there's certain things that said that echoed, like, this is all temporary. This is all temporary. This is all temporary. This is all temporary. And it was awesome. Oh, and before that, the ritual was they had give everyone paper to write things and then throw it in the fire. And I had a really, I touched on some thoughts and awareness about my relationship to him that I had not considered. I really realized that, I so appreciated his praise. Sometimes, some people, if my dad said good job, which he said on occasion, but it really matters. And when Janus would say things like really complimenting something I'd done or giving appreciation for projects. And when he would tell me periodically, like, man, you're really making a difference in people's lives. And it meant so much to me. And I really realized, well, like more than most people. And I had, I was like, I wish I would have praised you more, which I think I did, but I wish more. But I was like, I hope you heard the eulogy I just gave for you. So the ceremony was awesome to end it. Maybe I'll take a break and let's read some comments, and then I'll tell you more about the memorial. Natasha said, I saw so many beautiful photos of the event. It looked just perfect. It really was. And the day was incredible. The spring day, sunny, but not too hot. And it was really, the wisteria were starting to bloom, and there's other trees that were like flowers. It was just really just right. So, I've been thinking about Janus a lot lately, in writing and speaking and giving, and so, but not until I think Saturday morning did I really write down what I wanted to say. And you probably know this about me, that like I don't script things. I sometimes will make an outline, but I actually kind of get in my head if I try to do something exactly. Like when we did my men's group last weekend, there was a portion that I said, I'll lead this, and there's kind of instructions to give, and I didn't do it great because I was in my head about like, make sure you get it right, instead of just being present and speaking. So I was kind of nervous leading up to it that I would forget all the things that I wanted to say. But when it came time, and Betsy was so awesome. So Betsy, my other co-host, and who's been my real ally in the final Janus chapter, and so she, initially we were both gonna kind of MC, and then she wasn't gonna be there, so then I was gonna do it. But so she kind of opened the gathering with like breaths and announcements and thank yous, and it was so sweet. I was getting off stage so she could do her portion, and she was like, no. She came up and like grabbed my hand as we held hands as she spoke and kind of set the tone. And she thanked me so generously in front of everyone. And I didn't realize how many people had been either watching the things that I'm making or seen some of these morning broadcasts where I was talking about, so I didn't realize so many people had been touched. Like people would say, oh, thank you for getting us through this chapter. And I was like, oh, wow. Like if people don't leave a comment, I don't know who's paying attention. And so it really was really beautiful to go, oh, wow, a lot of these people that are longtime friends, but not people I see on social media, were paying attention and were with me during this last chapter. It was really nice. And so I had a lot of fun sharing things about him and connecting it to the audience. Like, he was adopted when he was just days old, and wasn't told he was adopted till he was 11. So he grew up feeling out of place. He couldn't figure out why he just felt like an outsider and didn't belong. And then was told that he and his sister were adopted, and he was like, oh. And so it made sense that as he became a grown man, he created family. And the people that were there today were his family. And so it was nice to kind of connect that with people. There was a number of things. Like, one thing that was so awesome, there was a table where they had photo albums of his, and a photo album with like huge photos of his modeling days. When he was in his 20s, he went to LA and modeled, was a trainer, and did professional bodybuilding. So there's these pictures of him like fucking gorgeous, like handsome, buff, in ridiculous like late 80s, early 90s clothes. It was so good. And on the same table, they had 2 screenplays that he'd co-written, because he went to film school for a year when he went to LA, and he had a treatment for a Black Panther movie, like the comic. It was just all these little pieces and memories and things, and it was so good. And so we had a number of speakers, some live music in the middle of it, and then it ended with a song. We played a song that Krista Richards wrote, who's a dear friend but lives far away, so she couldn't make it, but wrote and recorded this incredible song about him and our love for him that, like, I don't know who wasn't crying by the end of it. I was definitely crying, and it felt so good. It was. So then once that was over, then my responsibilities were gone, and then I just relaxed and had lots of great conversations, and it was just like it was supposed to be. I think he would have loved it. I think he would have loved knowing how much love there was for him. And yeah, and I got to just say, look, like, hey everybody, check out the Stay Sparked episodes. Check out the Remembering Red Moon YouTube page. Like, and it was cool. So when they did the performance, the fire performance, they used clips from that I had taken into the music. So I think people got a sense of like, whoa, it's awesome to hear his voice. Yeah. Natasha saying, you could always trust that Janus's words were genuine. Yeah. There's a lot of things that I learned about him. Like, there's a company, Magic Flight, that I knew he worked there. It was a company that long before pot was legal, they would make these vaporizers. You know, it's like healthier than smoking. So like they made these vaporizers, and then they made these, and they're expensive, like wood and gorgeous. And they made these things that were made for smoking DMT. And he worked there as he was the right-hand man of the creator of the company, who I knew, but I got to really drop in with him. And he told me how important Janus was for the company, and how he was just like his totally trusted, like, ambassador of the company. And it was really touching to hear someone talk about him in this kind of, professional respect. And got to talk about like how courageous he was in spreading the things that he believed in, the things that helped him, he tried to share it with the world, even if they were technically not legal, like plant medicines, like microdosing. And he did them. I called him the Johnny Appleseed of ayahuasca, which got a good laugh. Good morning, Christopher. Christopher saying, Facebook memories can be bittersweet. Grateful for the video of our late beloved cat, Marabou, that popped today. Also grateful and weird to see comments from people past on old memories. It brings the souls back for a moment. I agree. It is so... I check my Facebook memories almost every day, because I've been posting so much to Facebook for so long. Like, my memories are so fun. It's always a bummer when like a graphic or a video is kind of corrupted or gets lost over the years. That happens to me quite a bit now, the really old stuff. But yeah, it's a wild thing to see someone who is passed, big smile, holding a beer. And Natasha says, "Oh, I remember those crazy vapes." Yeah. Chris says, "I get in my head too much too when I try to be perfect. The Secret has totally affected me. Sending really good vibes about this lifestyle artist." Yeah, I ran into the same. I actually already mentioned that. Yeah, if I can be present and just trust my words, then I I usually do great. If I try to say it the way I'm supposed to, I'm not so good. Which is one reason why I never pursued acting. Like I I don't memorize and do scripts well yet. People always, whenever I give a criticism of myself, people say, "Don't condemn yourself with your words." I'm like, okay, I'm not 6 feet tall yet. Gerbot says, "I had one of those old school wood vapes," and I think they had on at least on this brand, it said, oh, what did it say? Love is the ability to make choice, or something like that. The creator of Magic Flight is this brilliant philosopher, and I actually got to tell him. I go, "Hey, his name's Forrest," and I go, "I've been going to this retreat center, and in the bathroom is your book, and so I'm frequently seeing your words in the bathroom of this retreat center," and just to let him know that, like, hey, your ripples are out there in the world. So those are the kind of things I like sharing. I like sharing gratitude and praise and lifting people up. Ain't that fun? Let's do more of that. I think that's a part of being a love ambassador. Anyone else want to share any gratitude? I woke this morning feeling so grateful for Lisa. I wrote up a little thing for her, and posted it this morning. I also this morning I'll work on it more today, but a lot of people saw me that haven't seen me since I'd had pink hair, and so there was a lot of comments about, "Whoa, look at you! I like your beard. I like the white." And so I shared what I said. In my morning broadcast, we were saying, like, "You're like a wizard with Riz. You're a rizzard." So this morning I've been working with AI to create a rizzard song, which of course I got to make a music video for. So look for that and know that you are the inspiration. Ian says, "I still have my flight box." Yes, that's what it was, flight box. Gerbot says, "Recovering perfectionist over here. Perfection is overrated." Yeah. Lisa and I, we have complementary inclinations. She's in the perfectionist realm. She as she's writing an email to go out for a newsletter, she will spend a lot of time making it perfect. And I rarely do second drafts. Good enough. That's good enough. Good enough. Natasha says, "Grateful my partner is coming home on Wednesday. It's been 3 weeks since he left to take care of Pops." Ooh, 3 weeks is a long time, but it's got to feel good to know that he's a good man. Yeah, wait for the Rizzard song, Chris. You're gonna be stoked. Who else has got any last gratitudes? Anything that we're just going to bring to the surface and awareness of? I'm grateful for Evo, the property that let us do the event there. It's a space that they rent out, and they donated it to us to use, which was really wonderful. Grateful that I was able to share my appreciation with them and so many people. Grateful for Asher, whose birthday is a couple weeks away. I'm grateful I'm going to go visit him at the beginning of next month. Tasha says, grateful I was able to get vet appointments for all of my dogs within a couple weeks' time. Hey. Savannah, grateful for my trip to and return back from Costa Rica and the knowledge I was gifted in the process. Truly a life-changing experience shared with 16 other sisters. Woo, that sounds like a fun group. Was there a theme to it, or a retreat, or was it were you like a sports team that all went together? What brought you down to Costa Rica, if you're willing to share? I have been to Costa Rica many times and have found that I no longer enjoy it. With one exception. There is a retreat center in the mountains that I've gone to several times called Finca Mia. And because it's the mountains, it's cooler and less humid. And I enjoy that. I enjoy the crisp river that you can jump in every day or whenever. But like I don't handle tropics very well. Humidity and heat is just so, it affects my system so much. Sometimes even like a few times ago when I went, I had like my skin had this like rash all over me. Just Savannah saying it was a yoga and painting retreat. Lovely. What a great thing to do. Bravo for that kind of self-care and growth process. Gerbot says, grateful to hear about such a beautiful ceremony. You both have put out so many amazing ripples into the world. Grateful for this practice, this space, and for you, John, and your consistent dedication. Thank you, Gerbot. Thank you for being a brother on this path. And to this practice, yes, I feel more than ever building up your discipline about your thoughts, building up tools and practices that keep us aware of the many, many miraculous things that are a part of being conscious on this planet. I mean, imagine how, like, there will be a time in the future when the environment on this planet will be dramatically different. We live in a time where we can walk around outside. We can pick fruit from trees. We can smell flowers. We can hug trees and walk into nature places where we can't see another human being. We can hear birds. We can drink water from the tap. I mean, I don't, but you could. We have the ability through technology to connect with people that we might never cross paths with, but we can share enough of our lives that we impact one another in not insignificant ways. We have so much to be grateful for. Chicago says, come to Chicago, fall through spring, 0 heat and humidity. I know a lot of people that love Chicago, and I've only been a couple times when I actually got to hang out with you, Chris. Gerbot says, grateful to be here now. And with that, wherever you are, oh, actually, wait, well, hold on. I'm going to do this. I'm going to remove Janus just for the hug and say I'm also grateful for this new plant I got. Oh, look at those leaves. They're so beautiful. Oh. Okay. Wherever you are, give yourself a squeeze and appreciate this body you're in. And then imagine the arms that are holding you to be someone else's, mine, the people here. Imagine you're being held by other human beings on this world, and that you are squeezing not yourself, but me and the other people here, that we are acknowledging that while we are in different bodies, we are having a intertwined shared human experience, and we're so much more alike than we are different, that we are part of a conscious divine flow that is way beyond our understanding. So let's be grateful for the experience that we're having, be grateful for the connections that we have with one another, grateful for the things that maybe we don't understand why they're happening or how they could possibly be of service to us. But let's just be grateful to be witness to whatever is happening in our lives, and the ability to open our hearts, share love, and create ripples in this world. So let's take a deep breath in and squeeze one another. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb, Janus, Osiris, Red Moon, and all of you beautiful people, thank you for being here for this love morning. I love you. Happy Monday. Good morning, Ian. Good morning, Charles.